fight. Look at us getting up, up, up. Oh my, this is real life. Get knocked down over 7,000 times. Here's your choice, stand up or get up and fight. Look at us getting up, up, up. This is the moment, this is the time. Peel back your layers.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 3 in the NOFSRL Craftsman Throwback Series. The series is finally back, and a couple days ago we returned the Hers Elimination Series, and that means that the Throwback Series is back. Albeit it's going to be a slightly shortened season. It's going to be an 11-race season compared to 13 races that we initially had, but nonetheless it's going to be a great season. And we're ready to get everything back in order here for these guys, get it done before the end of August so that we can get ready for the Turkey Hill Truck Series coming in the fall. That'll be the only series done during the fall, but we're getting our plans set for that, and this is one of those plans to get this done before August so that that can go on its way come September. But either way, we are here for the third race of the season in the Craftsman Throwback Series at the Michigan International Speedway. This was a race that was originally going to happen prior to the postponement of the series, but decided to bring this one back because we don't really go to Michigan that often. While we go to Pocono quite often, that was initially the next race in the series. We decided to cancel that one. The schedule's going to change just a little bit in this series. I don't even know if I ever released the schedule for this series, but we're going to race here tonight at the Michigan International Speedway in the Motor State 300. And this race specifically, when it ran in the first edition of the Throwback Series almost 3 years ago, actually saw one of the closest finishes in Napa Fan history. So this place definitely will put on a good show here today for us, and we got ourselves 36 drivers in the Throwback Series looking to win this race here today. And so far, the two drivers who have won races this season, Nathan Stapleton and Dan Park, are the top two drivers in points. Stapleton, with an average finishing position of 2.5, got 73 points towards the championship. Dan Park, who won the last race, was the World 500 at Charlotte about 7 weeks ago. He's 12 points behind. Edwin Mendez, Riley Sampson, and Trey Bartow all tied third in the championship standings, 18 points behind. But there are still 9 races left in the season, so a lot can happen between now and the finish of the season here in the Craftsman Throwback Series. Let's get these guys to roll off. It is Nick Smith in the number 18, starting on the pole position. Alongside him, it's Shane Lake in the number 25. Last time Shane Lake drove was in the James and Dean Wickard shootout about 4 weeks ago here on Napa Fan. And the Craftsman Throwback Series has had yet another race at the North Wilkesboro Speedway since the last official race of the series. I'm trying to remember who won that race, but I can't quite remember who it was, and I do apologize for that. But either way, number 99 of Jesse Turner's alongside Zachary Fitzwater in the number 51. That's row number 2. Johnny Gardner to the inside of Fisher G. Surprised I still remember who drove each car, and that's the guy who won the special event. Matt Tuck in the 84, who had a late race pass on Jesse Turner to take home the victory in the Craftsman Throwback Series special event at North Wilkesboro. He's alongside the number 88 machine of Noah Clifton. Then we have the 23 of Christopher Alphaby, and the 48 of Austin Johnson. No, Derek Hamill, excuse me there. Austin Johnson's in the 50. I guess I see 48 and automatically think Johnson. But that's Derek Campbell there starting in the 10th position here at the Michigan International Speedway. Nick Smith and Shane Lake on the front row. There are no pit stops in this race. It's 30 laps here in Michigan. So a lot can happen in this event. We could see a couple of wrecks. We really don't know. It's the Motor State 300. Great to have this series back on Napa Fan. The Craftsman Throwback Series has returned. And we are racing at the Michigan International Speedway. Green flag for Nick Smith in the Motor State 300. And if you remember that special event we had in the James and Dean Wickard shootout, you know that Jesse Turner dominated the special event. But late in the going, lost the lead to the guy who's trying to get to the inside of him for the race lead now. Matt Tuck again making a pass on Jesse Turner, and this time it's for a points-paying race. How about that at number 84 of Matt Tuck? He's really been putting the best to Jesse Turner as of late in the Craftsman Throwback Series. Here comes the number 14 machine of Trey Bartow. I love seeing these guys running up front. You got Bartow, you got Turner, you got Matt Tuck, all these guys with a lot of experience. Then you got Larry Hagan, a rookie driver right here, trying to put the best to Trey Bartow and Jesse Turner for the second position. But Matt Tuck pulling away in the 84. And his first ever win on Napa Fan came at the Auto Club Speedway, which is similar to this racetrack. And he does pretty good on the 2-mile-long racetracks that we have here on Napa Fan. But Matt Tuck pulling away, Bartow able to clear as Larry Hagan lost it through the corner there in the 46 machine of Marty Johnson has cleared to the fourth position. Turner getting stuck in the outside lane. He's going to fall back just a little bit as Trey Bartow clears for the second position. At the number 93, Alexander Rose moving his way up front here. Number 17 machine of Sebastian Kukulon as well. Larry Hagan trying to make a move on Marty Johnson. That is for the third position. And Hagan might get the run here as Trey Bartow goes for the lead on Matt Tuck. Great run there for Bartow, but unable to get the inside to work to his advantage. And you're seeing right now that outside lane's working pretty well for these guys here in Michigan. On the outside, Alexander Rowe on Larry Hagan. Marty Johnson now trying to get to the inside of Trey Bartow. That is for the second position, and Marty Johnson's going to take it right away from the veteran driver. Of course, Marty Johnson's a veteran driver as well, but nobody's been racing as long as Turner and Bartow. And they deserve to be called the true veterans here in this series. But Bartow's going to fall back, and we might have a 3-wide battle for the race lead. Larry Hagan got to the inside of Marty Johnson, who got to the inside of Matt Tuck, and I think Marty Johnson's going to come with the race lead off of turn number 2. It's like the start of the race. They're double wide. They're at the top 10 right now. Larry Hagan trying to get the inside lane to work as Marty Johnson is taking it away from Matt Tuck. Here comes Alexander Rowe and Andrew Ross in the number 24. Great run there for Andrew Ross as he currently goes to the inside of Marty Johnson. You have the number 7 machine of Nicholas Samadio also running up here. We've had Bartow, we've had Turner, we've had Samadio. So many veterans running up front in this race right now, but we'll have to see how it all plays out as this race goes along. They seem to really be bunching up, and that's because of the high downforce on these trucks. A little bit different than when the Cup cars come here. And that's why we decided to come here to Michigan for this race and not take it off the schedule, even though we postponed it. So, pretty good idea by the race officials to keep this one going here from the Michigan International Speedway. Yet to see a caution. Knock on wood, hopefully we do not see one here today, but there's a good chance we will. The way these guys are racing, and they are really close to each other here in Michigan, and there's a very good chance somebody could make a mistake that sends everybody in the outside wall. Matt Tuck moving his way back through the field. And the race lead has gone to Alexander Rowe, and now Nicholas Samadio is going to the inside, hoping to lead a lap. Of course, you get a bonus point for leading a lap and another bonus point for leading the most laps, so every lap led by these guys means something towards the championship, and with 2 races getting cut off from the schedule, the points mean more than anything now. They only have 9 races to go until we crown a champion here in the Craftsman Throwback Series. Samadio clears for the race lead, but he just simply cannot pull away in these trucks. And Matt Tuck looking back to the inside, looking to take it back away from Samadio at the stripe. I think Samadio is going to get a bonus point towards the championship. Right behind him, Edwin Mendez and Christopher Altheby moving their way on the inside lane. And it seems that we have a cycle effect going on right now. Samadio getting shuffled out of line, 3 wide on the outside. He's going to fall back. But I'm noticing that these guys are really moving their way on that inside lane pretty well. But just as I say that, they kind of spread out single file throughout the top 5. That's the number 10 machine of Thomas Troxel. Troxel up to the 5th position here. Edwin Mendez right ahead of him. That's the 12 of Riley Sampson, who comes in this race 18 points behind Nathan Stapleton. He's right behind Christopher Altheby. Altheby with a block on Sampson, but Sampson's not going to have any of that as they go 3 wide for the lead once again. Not only that, this is the second time that's happened to Matt Tuck. We got some 4 wide action coming off of turn number 2. These guys go a little bit slower than the Cup cars, so they're able to control their race trucks a little bit better than the Cup cars do, which is probably a reason why they've been able to keep it pretty clean up to this point. We'll try to see where Nathan Stapleton is, and Stapleton, our points leader, is deep, deep, deep in the field. Really deep in the field for our points leader, and he's actually gotten two top fives in a row, I should say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's so many numbers going around. We got some more 4-wide action heading into the corner. They got to be careful. That's the 48 of Derek Hamill getting a little bit into the 41 of Keyshawn Richardson. But they keep it together as they exit turn number 2. Dan Park won the last race. Comes into this race 12 points behind, and currently he is running up front inside the top 5. Alphabet was able to lead a lap. Now Riley Sampson going to the inside. But one driver I'm looking at who has definitely done a great job in this race, standing up front, is Matt Tuck in the number 84. And Matt Tuck has been able to kind of get his way back to the race lead multiple times in this event so far. Here's Ian Adams trying to get to the inside of Matt Tuck. And for guys like Ian Adams, Riley Sampson, Zach Winkle, this was the only series they were in, which is a big reason why the series was simply postponed and not canceled. We wanted to finish it out for those guys who had no other place they were racing on Napa Fan. Austin Johnson, another one of those guys, in the number 50 machine, up to the 3rd position. And we wanted to make sure that those guys had an opportunity to race once again before we headed into the fall season. Here comes Nick Smith to the inside of Noah Clifton. And the number 4 machine of Dan Park. Marty Johnson moving his way back through the field. Carter Friesen getting shuffled out of line. Up in the marbles right now. And you gotta watch for this. Nathan Faden in the 1. This could be trouble. And it is! Around goes Nathan Faden! Off of turn number 2. Other than that, everyone avoids it. But I do believe the yellow flag will fly here at the Michigan International Speedway. Saw that one coming from quite a while. Race back to the line will be won by Ian Adams. A lot of rookies up front, including Ian Adams, Austin Johnson, and Larry Hagan. But Nathan Faden getting spun around. Thankfully, it was the only incident, no other contact during that caution flag, so everyone should be able to remain on the lead lap at full speed. However, Faden does have a little bit of damage, so I do not know how that will affect his race car, but a tough break there for Faden. So he was running close to the top 10 at the time of his spin. He might not finish in the top 10 here today in the Motor State 300, but got to admit, this has been a great race so far to kick off the return of the Craftsman Throwback Series. As we do not have any pit stops, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here in the Motor State 300. They were 4 wide, exiting turn number 2, and we saw a lot of these types of accidents when we have the NRLA 500 back in June. That is the 41 machine of Keyshawn Richardson to the inside of Christopher Alphabet, and you see him shoot up just a little bit on Alphabet, and that's going to send Alphabet in the Nathan Faden. Right there, you see the 41 and the 23 get into each other, and Faden is the unfortunate victim. I don't think Alphabet even hit the wall. He did, just a little bit. Alphabet does have a bit of damage from that. But I do believe Keyshawn Richardson was able to avoid this one. Got a bit of a tap there, but nothing should knock anybody out from this accident. Faden was able to save it and get back going, and I don't even think he was the last guy to cross the line. He might have been. But looks like he's pretty well shaped right now in the number 1 machine after this accident. Replay this in real time, and the very predictable accident right here. I saw him get a little too close off the corner. That's when you really have to worry about these guys crashing, but thankfully, that's all that happened, and no hard hits. Nobody's going to get knocked out, and everybody still has a shot at this race victory here in the Motor State 300, right about halfway as well. Going to restart just past halfway here in the Motor State 300 at the Michigan International Speedway. Ian Adams in the number 35 is the race leader, looking for his first career Napa Fan win. Let's see what he does on the restart here at Michigan. We are back here at Michigan. We're going to restart with 14 laps to go in the Motor State 300. It's been a great race so far. A lot of racing up front as well. A lot of lead changes so far in this race. And like I mentioned, it's because of the high downforce on these trucks. The racing we get with these guys is quite spectacular. Ian Adams leads the field with Austin Johnson behind him. Both of those guys looking for their first career Napa fan wins. Matt Tuck looking to bounce from the win he had in the special event of the James and Dean Wickard shootout. He won that event. He's gone technically for 2 in a row, but not officially. Larry Hagan and Johnny Gardner round out the top 5 with Marty Johnson, Nick Smith, Jonathan Raines, Dan Park, who won the last race here in the Throwback Series, and Noah Clifton in the 88, but it's still anybody's game. With 14 laps to go in Michigan, Ian Adams crosses the line, and Austin Johnson did not get going the way he wanted to, and Matt Tuck's going to get to the inside for the second position. Johnny Gardner, he's going to get to the inside of Larry Hagan. But Adams remains out front in the 35. We'll have to see if he can pull away with those guys battling for the second position. Gardner might try to get a run here on Matt Tuck. Not going to do so. They're going to stay right behind, and it's just a huge pack here at Michigan. It's pack racing. That's all there is to it here at the Michigan International Speedway. Got Nick Smith here with help from his teammate and Dan Park. Dan Park won the last race here in the Throwback Series. That was at Charlotte. Jesse Turner going to the inside. 3 wide for that position for Turner, and Turner wants to get the win back that he lost in the special event at North Wilkesboro. Could not really work the inside lane too well, however. Austin Johnson will clear, but Turner will clear Carter Friesen behind him for now, but I don't know if he's going to be able to clear him here. He will, barely, but he's going to do it. Back up front, Ian Adams, Matt Tuck, Nick Smith. Nick Smith to the inside. That is for second on Matt Tuck. Austin Johnson is here, and Carter Friesen's going to make a move on Jesse Turner. Got 3 wide. Johnson to the inside of Smith and Tuck, and that is the 3rd time in this race Matt Tuck has been put 3 wide on the outside entering turn number 1. I am pretty sure he is tired of that happening to him here tonight. He's going to be able to clear behind Jesse Turner. Turner able to clear Friesen there, and now Turner might have a run on the 18 of Nick Smith, but while all this is going on, Ian Adams is pulling away from the rest of the field. We'll see where Nathan Stapleton is, our point leader. And Stapleton's not doing the best of jobs. As a matter of fact, he's last right now. Nathan Stapleton has not done a decent job. Actually, excuse me, he's 35th right now. As Nathan Faden, who was involved in that accident, does have enough damage to slow him down just a little bit. New race leader Austin Johnson got around Ian Adams, and all of a sudden you got Riley Sampson up here and Thomas Troxel. Where do they come from? They weren't up there the last time I checked, and that was only 30 seconds ago. Matt Tuck getting back to the inside here, or trying to do so at least. Here's a guy we've yet to talk about in this race, Casey Russell in the 43. And Casey Russell is also going for his first career NAPFA win. And like I mentioned, a lot of rookies in this series, a lot of guys who this is the only series they're racing this year, or at least up to this point, which is why the series came back for guys like Casey Russell, Riley Sampson, Ian Adams, and Austin Johnson, and they are definitely giving us a good reason why this series returned, for these guys to shine on the veterans. Riley Sampson to the inside of Ian Adams for the lead. 10 laps to go in the Motor State 300. Landon Lyons on the inside as well. And we're back to seeing the cycle racing that we saw earlier on. How about Turner with a move to the inside lane? A very bold move there by the veteran driver, racing around all these rookies. He's going to push Lyons to the inside. He's going to go 4 wide for the 3rd position. Turner is done. He wants a win. And so does Thomas Troxel. Troxel to the inside. They're going to clear the 4 wide. They're still 3 wide for the 3rd position. But Jesse Turner might get the run on Landon Lyons entering turn number 3. And now Troxel trying to get the run on Riley Sampson, but Sampson's going to clear. Not quite. There goes Troxel. He's got help from Turner, and to the inside, Thomas Troxel looking for his 2nd win of the season. Or should I say, 2nd win of the year on NAPFA. Won an IndyCar race earlier at Texas, which happened to be the same weekend that this race was originally going to be run. But he's going to lose the lead here. Jesse Turner to the inside for the race lead. And a great run for Turner. How about Dan Park? Dan Park to the inside. That is for the 2nd position. And Dan Park going for 2 in a row here, trying to take the points lead away from Nathan Stapleton. If anything, I think Riley Sampson might take the points lead away because Sampson's been in the top 10 pretty much this entire race, and I think he's going to have a good shot at having enough points to surpass Stapleton the way Stapleton's running right now. And Stapleton currently running in the 28th position. He is moving his way up the field just a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to keep the point lead. Julius Anderson's up here in the 30, up to 3rd. Remember, he almost won the official North Wilkesboro race we had back in May. Unfortunately, he was unable to get that one, and they got to be careful here. Carter Friesen in the middle of all this mess with the 72 machine to his outside. Igor Barreto in the middle of all that right now, but they remain 3 wide. They can do 3 wide here in Michigan. They can't do 4 wide. Jesse Turner trying to hold off our last race winner. He's not going to be able to do so for now. Here comes Dan Park going for 2 in a row in the Craftsman Throwback Series. He's got the advantage on Turner. Here comes Julius Anderson and Fitzy. Zachary Fitzwater going for, I believe, his 17th career Napa fan win here today. And he got to the inside of Julius Anderson. Turner is going to clear, however, for 4th, and Turner still has a shot at this one. And he got the number 60 up here as well. How about John Artem, Nicholas Samadia running up front? So many veterans now running up front here, as earlier on, just a few moments ago, we had so many first-time rookies. But it is Dan Park leading the field, and while Dan Park isn't a rookie, he's not as experienced as the guys behind him, but I don't know if that's going to work in his favor or not, because here comes Zachary Fitzwater with a full head of steam, and he got the push of his life from Jesse Turner to get to the inside. But Park's going to have a run up top. That might be an advantage to Dan Park. He's now got Turner pushing him on that outside lane. Turner's not going to be able to clear Johnny Gardner here, and Gardner's going to have a shot at the race victory. So coming to 4 laps to go in the Motor State 300 in the Craftsman Throwback Series. And it's the number 4. Driven by Dan Park leading the field with Zachary Fitzwater behind him. Johnny Gardner on Jesse Turner. That is for the 3rd position. Then you have Gatlin Downey right in the middle, right behind him, to the inside of Julius Anderson. Turner, I believe, is going to be able to clear Downey, though. I think. You know what? I don't know if he will. He's going to clear him right there. So Turner still has a shot in the 99. So he gets back to the inside. Johnny Gardner's up here. Zachary Fitzwater. And the race leader, Dan Park. With them being single file behind him, I think it makes it a little bit easier for Dan Park to stay up front. Because we saw the push that Fitzwater had initially there from Jesse Turner. That really helped the number 51. And you see right there, 2 guys get side by side. The guy behind you gets a really good draft. And how about Turner going 3 wide for 2nd? Turner wants this win. If Jesse Turner were to win this race here today, I believe it would be his 17th career win on Napa Fan as well. But Dan Park is pulling away right now. And I don't know if anybody is going to get to our Charlotte winner. Looking to win 2 races in 3 attempts so far this season. They're going to go 3 wide for the 2nd position. I don't know if they will, though. I think Turner's going to clear on the inside, and he will. And they really closed in on Dan Park there. No caution is out. Turner is still battling with Johnny Gardner for the 2nd position. Dan Park wants him to do battle. But I think Turner's going to clear Gardner here, and I think Turner's going to have 1 shot on Dan Park for this race lead. John Arndt moving his way on the inside. Edwin Mendez. Mendez might take the point lead after all this is said and done, but there's Stapleton. Stapleton has found himself inside the top 15. The white flag in the air for Dan Park at Michigan. And Friesen got the run to the inside, but Turner has help from John Arndt. And Turner is going to clear again, and this might be the push Turner needs for the race victory. Oh, that might be it right there. If he can get a run down the backstretch, he might be able to find a way to the inside. 1 lap to go, a half a lap to go in the Motor State 300. Jesse Turner, Dan Park, and Turner trying to get to the inside. He's got the inside lane. Oh boy, this feels good. I haven't seen this guy win in quite some time, but it's going to happen today, or will it? Carter Friesen to the inside. Side by side at the line, give it to Jesse Turner. He wins the Motor State 300 here at Michigan. Oh, baby, that feels good. Sorry, I'm a little biased. Turner was the first ever winner on Napa Fan. He is very, very special to this channel, and to see him win is always a special treat. And Jesse Turner gets it done in the Motor State 300 in the Craftsman Throwback Series. And no offense to Dan Park. Dan Park finished 4th. I believe he's going to take the points. Nope, he's not. Stapleton finished 10th. Where did he come from? You do have to hand it to Dan Park, though. He did an excellent job in this event, but could not hold off Jesse Turner at the end. And I was watching Turner that whole time. The moves that he made on that middle line, he was able to keep Carter Friesen behind him multiple times, and that was a fun race to watch for Jesse Turner. And I do apologize if I seem a little biased here. I love Turner. He's one of my favorite drivers on Napa Fan. And like I mentioned, the first ever winner on Napa Fan. Very special to the channel. Great to see him win anytime. It's a privilege to see this guy win here on Napa Fan. He got it done here in Michigan. Carter Friesen almost got to him, though, and Friesen tried on Turner like 3 separate times and could not get the best of him, but Turner was not going to lose today after what happened to him in the special event at North Wilkesboro. It's Jesse Turner, Carter Friesen, Thomas Troxel, Dan Park, and John Arndt, the top 5, with Sam Medeo, Smith, Mendez, Raines, and Nathan Stapleton. 3 straight top 10s to open the season up for Stapleton. He will remain the points leader as we head into the next race, which is going to be, I believe, at Atlanta. So if you thought this race was good, wait until you see that one. But either way, take a look at the rest of the results right here. Everybody finished on the lead lap. Nathan Faden was involved in an accident, and that slowed him down enough where he couldn't make any passes on anybody back in the field. And he saw guys like Zach Wink, actually he saw like Landon Lyons and Christopher Appleby. They were up front earlier on in this race, and they fell all the way back. Riley Sampson fell to 29th. And this race, you couldn't really make a determination on who was really going to win till the end of this thing, because a lot of guys who were running up front earlier on fell back and fell outside the top 20, and they're just all over the place in the finishing results. But Jesse Turner was up front pretty much this entire race, and he was able to get to the inside of Dan Park. And like I mentioned, no offense to Dan Park at all here when I'm calling Jesse Turner out like he's the best driver ever, because he is. But Dan Park did an excellent job in this race, and he came on with a 4th place finish. He's going to be right on Nathan Stapleton in the points, and Dan Park did an excellent job holding onto the race lead for as long as he did. But Turner just had the run. When Turner finally got single file, there really wasn't anything Dan Park could do there, so it was Turner's race to lose at that point. But either way, congratulations to Jesse Turner for the race victory here in Michigan. And here are the championship standings in the Craftsman Throwback Series after 3 races. And I think that was a great race to come back to. Next race is going to be at Atlanta, probably sometime next week. But like I mentioned with the Hertz Elimination Series, there is no set schedule on when these races are going to go up. But I'll do my best to get it all done before the end of August, so we can get the Napa Truck Series, the Turkey Hill Truck Series, started in the fall. I still call it that after all these years, well, all these months. I mean, we only changed it a year ago, but I think by now I would have had that figured out. But either way, congratulations to Jesse Turner here, the championship standings in the Craftsman Throwback Series. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the Tire Rack 400. And the racing in that race is going to be just like this one. I guarantee it, because I've already done the race. And it's exactly like this, where they just keep on passing throughout the entire field, and guys fall back really quickly. You just don't know what's going to happen until the checkered flag flies. Just like this race was. So stick around for that really thrilling race we had in Kentucky. That's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Jesse Turner, and I will see you guys later.
Cray button. Cray. Cray. Put your